Hi, this is Leo Sayre. I want to introduce you to a young and fantastic new singer who's come up from nowhere, as far as I'm concerned, in Australia, here in Australia. And she's called Chontia. And I'm going to ask Chontia to tell us all about herself and about this wonderful music she's making, because she's on the way with a new album, which is in progress. 3 tracks are recorded already and being mixed and being got together for release, and there's more songs coming. And so I thought it would be a good moment to introduce you all to Chontia. So Chontia's here. Hi, Chontia.
Hi, Leo. How
How
are
you
you?
doing? I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, because I know very little, only what I've heard on music, on the tapes, on the songs. And very thrilling it is. You've got this marvelous voice. Where did this all come from? How long have you been singing?
Well, I've been singing, I think I could say probably all my life. My father couldn't keep me quiet even when I was a toddler. He sort of reminded me the other night. But no, my first time on a stage, I was 8. So
wow.
Yeah.
Where did songwriting start? When did you first start writing these songs?
I started writing songs 13. I can't say it was really early. It was before 14. Because the songs that I was writing was I can remember to what it was about at the time. So, and at that time my mother was still alive. So yeah, it was way before 14. So yeah.
Well, sad you lost Mum, but
she was a songwriter too.
Yeah, but it's fantastic. So, she seems to have passed this legacy straight on to you, which is an incredible thing.
It was just my way. I think when she, died, I just think that was my way to get really close to her and, just play music. I loved it. I love it still. It's
like passing the baton, really, isn't it? Yeah. You were telling me before a story of how you would rush to the guitar when your mum had stopped playing and put your fingers in the same positions so as to kind of find out what notes she was playing. Because you're basically completely self-taught. Is that correct?
Yes, except for one song my mum taught me when I was, I think, 10, 11, and Suzanne by Leonard Cohen. So it was 3 chords. And I think she made it as easy as she could so that I could, grasp those.
The simplest version.
And then she gave me a chord book, really old one with really close, still got it. And I just sat there in my own time learning to grab all those chords and sing with it and write. But yeah, like you said before, I used to watch her in awe as a little girl I can remember it so vividly and run to her as soon as she'd put that guitar down and try and emulate exactly what she'd just done. I could feel the warmth of the fingers, and it's a beautiful memory. So,
and you would watch her really where her fingers were going, like on the fretboard, and see the shapes and how those notes came out of that, just that basic tuning. Yeah, fantastic. You're making this record now with your partner, Paris, and my good friend Mark Kennedy as well, involved in that, who folks plays drums for me here in Australia, and that's the reason of my connection with you all. But why did it take so long before you're recording now? Because it's been just a journey of gigs and trying things out. And I know we should say that you suffer from a bit of a disability as well, which has been a thing to overcome. I know you don't make much of that, but people should know you've got this terrible back problem. Is that inherent, or is it something that came on?
That it's a condition that I've suffered with throughout my life. I was told from a neurosurgeon that it had been there when it was finally picked up in my early 20s. He said that I finally had an MRI done, and he said you have a really tiny spinal canal, and a heap of degeneration happening. And it's he said his words were, you can have it when you get older, and sometimes it can be a birth defect, and if it's not looked at and found at the time, it can cause trouble.
But something that can get discovered later on.
Yeah. So through my teens, and I was a gymnast. I wanted to be a gymnast as well. So.
Well, there's something that definitely happens when you walk on stage, because I've seen some videos, and hopefully people will get to see some of these earlier shows that you've done, and of course there's more to come in the future. But you seem to kind of come alive up there. I don't think there's anything holding you back. You're moving all over the stage. You're athletic, and as much as you can be.
Legs, I think.
No, but it's incredible. It's like a switch turns on, and I think that happens in a lot of artists, doesn't it? I mean, I know with me,
definitely.
I get on stage and if I've got aching legs or something like that, completely forgotten when I'm up there, because you're just living on adrenaline, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it's the best medicine.
Give and you take, want and you make, fight for what you right in your lives. You know what you want, but you can't seem to grasp it. So
it's taken a time to get to this point of making this record, and
yes, it has me. I've been working on these songs throughout my whole life, really, from my 20s probably and teens, and just songs, that little ideas. And I've recorded and worked with a lot of people, and had wonderful mentors. I met Paris, and he just he just said, look, I think you really got something special here with your songs, and I'd really like to, introduce you to Mark. And that was such an honor, because what an amazing person. And he's, I met
you're working
Mark,
with two really fine musicians, as well as being your producers and arrangers, and assisting you in that way. But they're also incredible musicians, and the whole crew is really good. I mean, I know some of the guys, from the time I've been here in Australia, and observed great musicians working, and you seem to have a good team.
Just to be happy, just to be free, just to be happy, just to be free, just to be happy, just to be only me.
The songs are all, there's no co-writes in there. You write everything.
Yeah, so a lot of the songs I think there's a couple that I have gone, hey guys, I need a bit of help here, and Paris and Mark.
But so much comes from within your spirit, and that's what's intrigued me right from the start. I mean, some of the lyrics, the words, the messages in the songs are in a way almost like an outpouring of something inside that just needs to get out. And I find that in you is fascinating. I mean, I could cite many artists that have been influenced me and also inspired me, and artists I've enjoyed, people like Joan Armatrading or Joni Mitchell, who have this kind of, this idea inside, this spirit inside that's got to get out, and that's, I think, where you're coming from, and that's what intrigues me. So let's talk about the songs. Only a Child is a fascinating song. Tell me about that.
Lately, I can't turn the TV on, 'cause every time I do, there's always fighting and a war, waiting to die.
I'm really sensitive to the world around me, good, bad, like everyone. When I began writing the song, it just felt so, it's heartbreaking to see little snippets of news, and there's a child being dragged out of a war zone that no one should be in, and let alone a child. Their whole existence, since some of them they've just been in this complete disarray of life, just no normality almost.
It comes over as such a universal song. I think that anybody listening to it can say, yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. So it's that's a great observation.
You know, my way is to write the song, and hopefully, you know, I've got a vision of what I'd like to do with that song, and hopefully, you know,
I think you've achieved it on this record. You know, it's a pretty fully realized track, you know, and we should say to everybody, there are 3 tracks at the moment that have been mixed and are pretty much ready to go, but there's a lot more to come. And from looking at some of your Vimeos of earlier performances, some set up and some in front of a live audience, I'm kind of seeing, God, there's just so much material in there. How are you going to choose?
Live my life fearless and see the beauty and grace. Take things for granted, I know some of us don't get everything we need.
Sometimes I don't even know at the time, you know, when I'm writing,
where it's going, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, it's just emotion, and I know that things are happy, or it's just a, you know,
do you write down a lot of words, or do you does it kind of really just, it's in the head?
It just goes round and round until I have to sort of kick myself and go, you need to write this down. Like,
do songs come from like you know, they just come from out of the air, really, you know? Ideas and things.
Now where we are, it's such a beautiful place.
You seem to have kind of come into a position now where everything is settled and everything finally is. Maybe that's why the record is happening now, because basically a kind of like a fractured life and all of a sudden stability.
I'm ready. I feel I understand my music a lot more now. I know that sounds strange.
No. Have you noticed during the recording process how songs grow and how, you know, and you maybe can come back to them and say, hang on, maybe I can change this word, or are there any developments like that going on as the song, you know?
Yeah, it's been I love the process. It's been, I think, it's the most favorite time of my life. I mean, recording included, like just
singing on the microphone,
and
hearing yourself back.
Different, you know, really learning to work with that mic and such. It's so different from being on live stage.
Sure.
You know,
2 things are so totally different. Yeah.
I've gotten to a point where I'm really starting to understand that little moment with the recording and the mic now, and got an understanding of, like, really solid understanding of the songs.
I think I understand that because, of course, I'm playing harmonica on one of the tracks. And I've seen that song. I've seen that song grow from the first version that you guys played me, or that Mark played me, and said, "Hey, Leo, would you like to play something on this?" And I heard the song and I went, "Wow, you know, I'd love to." This song is called "For All." And it's a beautiful sentiment in the song as well. You know, wouldn't it be nice if we could all just go, just go somewhere and all come join together and be so. And I saw that song grow, and I saw your vocal grow, because first off, I only had, I think it was a guide vocal. And then later on, a few more words appeared, I saw how that developed. So I've seen that process firsthand anyway.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could all just go anywhere we like, oh, any place at all? Wouldn't it be nice if we could all just go? I want to know,
You know, I used to play on stage. I would be playing that song solo and have the harmonica wrapped around me. And
you play harmonica too?
Yeah. Also, I've put the guitar down a lot now.
And concentrate. I can hear that. Doing really concentrating on the voice and what you can do with it.
Not so restricted.
That's right, because it's always difficult when you're doing 2 or 3 things
Yeah,
at a time.
I'll play a couple of songs through the shows on the guitar with, but it's been really wonderful with Andrew Toner.
Yeah,
from
he's
Melbourne.
pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah,
So really, I mean, I just see an artist in growth here, which is really exciting because often, you know, you could be doing something like I'm doing today. I'm taking the place of a professional interviewer, folks, but
doing wonderful.
I'm doing my best, but it's exciting to be in the middle of the process and see something growing, you know.
Yes.
And I get this feeling, having heard some of the songs that have still yet to be put down or yet to be finished, there's even better to come. And I can feel that you're going to be approaching these in a very kind of objective way now, knowing what you can do with the vocal, knowing what you can do with your voice, and knowing how you can really pull these songs into a place where they're really communicating.
Yeah.
And you've really invented this amazing artist, Chontia, that we're all going to be hearing a lot more about. So thank you for talking to me and talking to everybody out there and telling us a little bit about yourself. Now I feel I know you a little bit better, and I feel that when the songs all come out, as they're just about to do, this is a nice intro to you. And let's talk again when we get further along the album. And hopefully, if Paris and Mark will let me, I might even get more involved in the record.
Ooh, that would be wonderful.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I'd love
Chontia.
that. Well, thank you. It's been such
Thank you
an
so
honor
much.
and such a pleasure. So
Fantastic.
thank you very much.
A pleasure. Yay.
Killed in the street. Don't know how you sleep at night. Everyone in the world can see. How can I help you tonight? Make your life a little easier like mine. How can I take away your fears? You've been walking this road for all your life. You're only a child. You're only a child. You're only